All right. Sorry for the delay, y'all, but as Catherine mentioned, we still have plenty of time to get through this. Um, Going straight through, you can set up the connection yourself in about 15 minutes. Um, so you are here because your organization uses Google Docs, Gmail, Sheets, all of that, and you're not signing in with your Google account to Blackbaud over an SSO connection that your admin is then able to manage who has access directly to that connection. But just as a quick way of introduction, I'm John Vogel, product manager for identity and access management on the Blackbaud Sky platform. So Blackbaud ID, user management permissions are all in my wheelhouse. So even outside of this presentation, if you have questions just in that realm or have feedback, always love to hear it. So as mentioned, you're here because you've got Google Workspace and you have other business applications. Blackbaud, we understand, is just one of many other business applications that you probably use outside of your Google products. And with not having an SSO connection established today, you're signing into Google Workspace with your Google account, you're signing into Blackbaud with a second account, or you're doing it through sign in with Google, which doesn't allow your admin for easy management to the Blackbaud solutions and being able to turn people on and off there. And then you have multiple other applications that you're probably signing in with. And the goal of this, even beyond Blackbaud, is to make the case for how you want to establish an SSO connection with all of your providers, so that you're just signing in with your Google account across all of your business applications that you use, and during the normal course of business. That way you don't have to be memorizing multiple passwords and keeping track of different user credentials. In order to complete this job, there's 3 roles that are important that I have access to show you all how to do this today. But if you don't have access to any one of these, you need to find out who at your organization does before starting down this path. So Blackbaud org admin, that's the easiest one here, right? You can find out who your org admins are even just by going to your, actually, let's just show a quick live demo of that too. If you're not sure who your org admin is, you can go over into your organizations from your profile, and it'll tell you who your organization admins are. Just a quick aside there. And I'm going to go back into this. Okay. So today we're going to establish an SSO connection with Google. So I'm going to jump right in here and we'll start. So from the authentication page, you click that you wanted to manage an SSO connection. You don't have any right now today, so you're going to start. We have different IDP providers available. We're doing Google Workspace today. And also, just to show you this deck that's available also, it will be available both from BB Dev Days and also within our help documentation. You can, this has click by click of where to go to establish your SSO connection. And you can also access this directly by clicking on this link here, Blackbaud Developers Conference presentation. And within here is all of the instructions just in written form of where you need to go and what you need to do in order to put the connection together. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Separate browser tab, open your Google APIs, make it real easy there for you. We've got a link to it. And we're going to be creating a project. So it says enter your Google Workspace primary domain. The domain Let me open this up here. Wait a minute. I don't know why that's. There we go. That's weird. You can see here, if you go to admin.google domains, primary domain, that's the easiest place to really confirm it. And you come back in here, Blackbaud ID, SSO. We're going to create, as you can see here, we're going to create a new web application project, or choose one on your Google domain. We're going to start this from fresh. So we're going to create a new project here. I'll call it BB Database 8.3 zone 67. Organization. Oh, probably doesn't like the hyphens. Okay. Let's say June 7th. How about that? So for the organization, Blackbaud ID, SSO, we can create that project. Let it spin up, and we'll go back over here. So we created a new one, and then we're going to create a new OAuth client ID credentials. If any of you all were in Ben Wong's presentation yesterday about Sky Developer, he talked a lot about our OAuth connections, and when you're establishing OAuth connections between a third-party application to your Blackbaud solution, the same type of thing is happening when you're establishing this connection between Google and Blackbaud, so that you're able to sign in with your identity at Google into Blackbaud. So you can create the new credentials. So we're going to go into this project here, and I'll show you here along. So we went and grabbed the primary domain. You can see the link out to the API. We created the project. We then go to configure the consent screen. So configure the consent screen here. So here, this is only going to be available internal within your organization. External is when you have the intent of actually publishing like an app, just it would be available, say, like within the Play Store or something, like, you know, more broadly available. This is you're just going to be doing internal. So continue there. App name, I'm just going to again do BB Dev Days 23 June 7th. You have to put somebody's email in that's the user support. Even though there's not much, users won't be coming across that very often. They will be able to reach out for support. You can upload a logo if you like, and then I'm going to switch back over here for the app domain. So here we've created the new the new OAuth client ID credentials. We're going to paste in this authorized domain for Blackbaud here. Down here for the authorized domain. And I'm just going to put in my email address here again. And this one doesn't have to be on the claim domain or anything. So just to follow along here again, we did the configure, the consent screen, internal, you name it, you had the authorized, and then you look to Save it down at the bottom. Save and continue. Scopes, there's really no scopes that are required for this. And so then you have your summary of what all you set up, and back to dashboard. So again, here you can see that we saved and continued, back to dashboard. Now we're going to create that OAuth client ID. We come back over here, and collapse that. So on the credential screen, create credentials, OAuth client ID. This is just a web application. And here, you want to name this something that people are going to recognize. So, putting Blackbaud in the name. I'm just doing these names just to help me keep track of it for my purposes. So then for authorized JavaScript origins and authorized redirect URIs, we have to come back over here. You see, so we already took care of the authorized domain. Next, we're on paste this URL into the authorized JavaScript. So we add this URI here, and then we're going to come over and add the authorized redirect here, and then create the application. OAuth client created. Typically, you don't want to share, your client IDs, client secrets with folks for this demo purposes, because this can be short-lived. There's not a huge security risk. So enter your project's client ID. Come over here, client ID, copied. It's that. Enter your client secret, right below it, copy. Right here. Okay. Ensure, then the final step here, ensure admin SDK library is enabled on your project, right? So make sure not to click finish before you do that step. So we're done with this. And then for the library, if we look for admin SDK, SDK, the admin SDK API, and enable. So we've enabled that, and we'll be able to click finish here. I'll show you just to go through. Admin OAuth client created. Again, this is just all the steps that we just went through, transferring information. You go into the library, search for the admin SDK, enable it, and then you're able to finish it. Okay, and then we go on to this next step for claiming the email domains. So we're going to finish this. Claim email domains. So this email domain, as we had grabbed before from the primary domain, is this Blackbaud ID SSO. So we put this, and this is the domains that you are having users when they enter an email address that has this domain associated with it. Then on the Blackbaud side, we're going to redirect them over to your IDP, Google in this case, to authenticate. And so we want to make sure that you have that you own this email domain. Sorry here. Start domain verification. And this process allows us to confirm that you have ownership of this domain. So what you're going to do is take this text string here and copy it, and then you're going to go out to your DNS provider, using Google domains in this case. So chances are with you being on Google that you probably do use Google domains, but not necessarily. And what we want to do is add a text record here. You can leave this host name blank because it already knows the Blackbaud ID SSO, because I only have one of them here. And then I'm going to paste in this text string here. And if you have other DNS records that you're not sure about, you can always create a new text record, and you know, you can put those out there, and it's no problem. So I've saved that. If we come back over here and click verify this domain, on the Blackbaud side, we go out, look at your DNS and say, oh yeah, you put that text record out there. Thanks for that. We know that you definitely own that domain now. So we've claimed the domain. Now it's just down to testing the connection. So in incognito window, what I'm going to do is open new incognito window here and paste this URL in. And I have john.vogel at Blackbaud ID SSO.com. Is that right? Yep, hopefully. And the last demo, I fat fingered something, and so I want to make sure that I got that appropriate. Continue. Wonder if there's something happening with the delay this morning. This happened with the last demo. We've set everything up properly, but I'm wondering if it just hasn't provisioned for some reason now. So we've got the admin SDK enabled and all of that. So let's go back over here and we'll give it another shot. We'll try to load this up again. And actually, just to make sure that I am doing the right user, we'll go out here and just make sure. Yep, you can see that and that my user here, I'll click into here. And we will copy and paste this to make sure that there's nothing that I'm fat fingering and that there's nothing wrong with it. And there we go. So if it doesn't go on the first time, I'm actually going to follow up with the team around that, because it's typically faster than that. Once you go into test mode, that you're able to test the connection out immediately. But in this case, it's taking a minute to provision. So from here, we're signing in with Blackbaud ID SSO. Sign in. And I'm redirected into the welcome page. This user doesn't have any access to any organizations, so this is all I see here. But then back here on the test connection page, if I refresh, then you'll see that it logged that there was one user that signed in test mode, me obviously. If you want to build confidence you can ask your colleagues to sign in with this same URL, and it'll register each unique user that logs in. I was just noticing Paula's question here. Do we need to set SSO for all users at once, or can we test with just a couple users first before we switch the rest over? Paula, you had, I hope that this last section answered your question. That's perfect. You were anticipating that, as I see you wrote that question a little while ago. So yes, you can leave the connection in test mode here until you've sent out communications and let people know that, like, hey, you're going to be switching this over. It's not until this fourth step that will it actually start impacting users, unless they're going in through this specific URL, which is this parameter of login test equals true. So then the final step here is just to actually turn it on. We provide you with this modal that lets you know in this link, when you do go to turn this on, here's all the users that are going to be impacted, i.e. these are users that have a BBID today that are signing in with email password on the domain that you're claiming for this SSO connection, which is Blackbaud ID SSO.com in this case. And then you can automatically have all those people receive an email of the change that's happening. So then I just click connect with Google Workspace, and it's going to do its thing, and then you have a full connection. And now anybody that's signing in with that SSO or with that claim domain from the regular login window. So if I go to app.blackbaud.com again here. Oh, I didn't sign out. Just from the main home screen here, or the regular sign-in page, excuse me. If I do Blackbaud ID SSO typing SSO.com, as soon as this is what I get for trying to test the next thing, show the next piece of it. I'm going to be working with the team on. There's clearly an account for this, and it's. I think it must just be provisioning. It must be a matter of provisioning again. So I will check with the team on that. I bet if I do it again now, it will. Blackbaud ID SSO.com. Now it's going to redirect me over to because I already authenticated in through Microsoft, so it passes me over to Microsoft. Microsoft says, "Oh yeah, you've got an active session with Blackbaud. We'll pass you right in." Is there any other questions while we've got just a few minutes? And I don't have another. Well, I'm sure that there's probably something else coming up on the main stage probably after this. So I'm happy to take any questions while we have time. Just to show also here, we did all of these steps going through here. To DNS records, testing the connection, and then I also show like the emails that people are receiving, where they're going to land during, and then turning it on, the confirmation of email that people received that had a BBID already, and then the completed connection. Also, beyond the thank you slide, I have some slides around disconnecting SSO, and then also, not that there's really a need for this, but if you want to establish Google using SAML, I have the slides in there for that, which instead of going to Google, you click into the SAML connection, and there's a little bit different setup process affiliated with that. But really, the web application is the way to go for managing. And if your company has a portal within Google, you can have the Blackbaud web application show up in there to make it a single click for folks as well. So thank you for your time today. And I was gonna, can't find the thank you page here. There we go. If y'all have any other questions after the fact, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And it's been a pleasure demoing this for you. So hopefully you've gotten to see how easy it is to stand up Google SSO and realize the added benefits for your organization to manage across a single IDP. Thanks, everybody.